So welcome back to our F1 2020 driver career mode. You guys have been absolutely smashing these career mode episodes, so carry on the support and the episodes will keep coming, so thank you very much for that. So if you are new around here, do get subscribed, turn on notifications to never miss a brand new video. MotoGP content will be coming as well, with 100% races at the race weekends, as well as the continued F1 2020 videos. So plug over, let's get into today's episode, which will be the Canadian Grand Prix. So in terms of R&D, let's check in with where we are. We're the 4th fastest team, which is really good from us with Renault. We've got Racing Point hot on our heels, so we need to keep the development coming through. Let's take a look then at the actual R&D tree. What have we got in development? We haven't got anything in development. We've got 2,000 points to spend. Now remember, because we're on the short career mode, the prices for some of these R&D points are quite expensive. So engine we need to improve on, aero is pretty good, and chassis is pretty good, but we may as well keep up the pressure on the chassis department and everything like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look to make an improvement on the chassis. We could go for tyre wear, or we could go for weight redistribution. I'm going to go for tyre wear. That should help us out with race pace. Do we want to rush it? No, we'll go for the standard one, get that low risk in the bag, and then after the first practice session we'll be able to get our brand new development started on the aero department. So we've had a slight upgrade on the facilities, and we've had some more R&D points come in. We've had general durability improved, as well as some more development parts coming in, and even more R&D. So before we get in, I'm going to get that aero development started. Actually no, I'm going to go for the engine. We need to get some engine developments on, so we'll go for that, and then we've got almost enough to start the aero department after the first practice session, hopefully. We did actually get in the tyre wear upgrade. That's gone on, which is good, all successful. So let's head into practice qualifying and then the race. I'm going to do a 50% race here today, as well as short qualifying, just to change up the format a little bit, see what you guys think. It's going to be the Canadian Grand Prix, so it should be a special one. So one thing before we get into things, I'm going to have to get a brand new gearbox on the car, because we're at 76% wear already. That's really bad. We've really hammered through this gearbox. Here we are then, brand new qualifying session, and we've gone for short qualifying. We've got the brand new gearbox on, we've got the new engine parts 2 on, so we're all fresh and ready to go for this opening stint here in qualifying for the Canadian Grand Prix. Coming across the line, and then a 109 was fastest by Lewis Hamilton, I think, and we've just gone in 5th place for now with a 110.7. So let's get back out there on the track, let's get back in the garage, get some fresh tyres on and go again. So looking at the times then, we did a decent first sector, about 2/10 off the quickest one, so not bad, not bad. 22.4, we're losing a lot of time in the middle sector, although to be fair, I did make a small mistake. We lost the rear a little bit, so that's probably cost us 3/10 there. And then in terms of the last sector, we're almost fastest, so middle sector's the one to work on. Let's head out and do just that. So it's all looking up then for this run at our qualifying lap. The sun's come right out, and our teammate's about 6/10 quicker than us, so if I can find that in the middle sector, we should be all good. So we've gone quickest in the first sector, lost a little bit in time, but improved in the middle and the third sector. We managed to actually hook it together nicely to get us ahead of Bottas and Leclerc. Wow. Making this Renault work well, getting those upgrades on the car seems to be paying off, but if we end the session, hopefully we stay ahead of those two. I didn't expect to be splitting any Mercedes or Red Bulls this early on, but either we've just done really well here, or the Renault upgrade path is proving to be pretty good. But here we go, podium pass stuff, get me that XP. And let's see the results then. Oh, everyone improved. Oh man, Ricciardo broke into the 109. So Renault looking quick, McLaren looking quick as well. So this could be a tight race for about 4th, 5th place. So let's get straight down to the grid then.
Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk about Joker. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Fingers crossed that's one failure they won't have to worry about today at least. There's not much of a silver lining to starting down the field with a penalty, but I think they'll be able to make some of that back up over the course of the race.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Valtteri Bottas that completes the front row. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Ricciardo, Charles Leclerc and Stroll, Albon, Norris, Perez and Kimi Raikkonen. Joker, they've taken a grid penalty. Grosjean, Sebastian Vettel and Giovinazzi. Sainz, Magnussen, Daniel Kvyat and Nicholas Latifi. Russell and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot today. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So as you can see, quite a few people are taking grid penalties. Vettel, Sainz and ourselves. Those two took 10 place grid penalties, so I wonder if they changed engine parts or whether they actually picked up a 10 place grid penalty for doing something wrong. Not too sure, but ours is as a result of changing the gearbox, but I'd rather not DNF because of the gearbox. You know what I mean? Because, I mean, it was at 76% anymore, and we'd already started losing gears out of Monaco, so anything more, and yeah, we wouldn't have made it to the end of this race. So let's sort out the strategy, and we'll get going here at Canada for, I think, 31 laps. So in terms of race strategy, we're looking at a 2-stop. It's 35 laps around here. And I am going to underfuel the car by maybe a lap or two. 34 laps. Yeah, we'll underfuel it by a lap. That hopefully should make us a little bit easier on the tyres, shall we? Or could even underfuel it by 3 laps or so. We'll see. 34. We'll go 33 laps. I could save 2 laps of fuel over the course of this race. So hopefully that pays off for us. Lights are about to go out here for the Canadian Grand Prix. And we're off. We pick up a really good start actually. Got a bit of overtake mode, but it's very tight into turn number 1. We slot in just behind Norris. We've got a racing point up our inside to watch out for as well. He's alongside us. Sergio Perez gets back through with that Mercedes power unit. And we're going to have to slot in behind the Mexican, and there's contact or someone up the front here. Stroll and Leclerc. Stroll all the way up in P5, and this time we're getting up the inside of the racing point. Renault and Racing Point not getting on at the minute in the real F1. Renault lodging protests against them because of their car design, stuff like that. So we're tucked up behind Norris. By underfueling the car as well, I've just been thinking that means we won't have to run any rich mix really, and we'll save some ICE wear, but a simple overtake Lando in the end. Obviously Renault engine versus Renault engine. We had the straight line speed. I've gone for a pretty slippery setup. Not a lot of downforce in terms of the aero setup. But we're starting to P8 now, and Albon in the Red Bull is up next, running the Honda power unit. So hopefully we can get past him, although the Honda power unit is pretty good. Slight scrape at the wall, but no damage there. 8 tenths up the road is Albon in the Red Bull. He pulled away a little bit. We seem to have gained it back in this first sector, through the first few corners at least. But let's keep on the pressure, keep on hounding him, make up some positions while we can. Lap number 8 is when the pit window opens, and I will be going for the medium tyres. Albon getting a little bit loose there. Pits up the DRS. Not going to use any overtake button down this straight. Oh, a little bit deep there. Had to slam it on the brakes a little bit harder than I'd like, but hopefully, I don't think Albon is in the DRS zone of Leclerc, or he might now actually. But I'm hoping to get the jump on Alex Albon pretty soon. Here we go, good little run. Up the inside. Very aggressive there. And we get the job done. He backs out of it. Properly squeezed him. But we're through for now. I expect he's going to come back at us pretty quick. Unless I can pick up some DRS from Leclerc before we reach the straight. So I'm going to use overtake mode just to try and close down the Ferrari, man. I think Ferrari might have had a slight nerf. And Racing Point have a slight buff in terms of performance as well. Because look at this. Leclerc struggling in 6th place behind Lance Stroll. All over the back of Charles Leclerc now. Whoa! Huge tank slapper out of there. That's properly cost us time. We were right on the back of him. We're going to have to redo all of that work that we put in to try and close down the Monegasque. Let's see what sort of exit we can get out of here. Got loads of ERS saved up. Just struggling with the traction. I think it might be these tyres, to be honest. They were our qualifying tyres, but DRS is activated. Overtake buttons on, but I think the guys ahead have their overtake buttons on too, so I'm going to turn it off. Try and line it up for a really good exit. Overtake mode, DRS, everything we've got. Leclerc goes to the outside, opens up the inside on Charles Leclerc. Shoulder barge him out of the way effectively there. Not a lot he could do as we came charging up the inside. He backed out of his move, left the door open. Let's look at that again, straight up the inside. Very aggressive, very nice move on Leclerc. And it's our go to have a go at getting past Lance Stroll. Leclerc's had plenty of time to try now. I've got Leclerc hounding me behind. Seem to be alright. We escape for now. More DRS is going to be crucial to get on Stroll here. And then our teammates running around in 4th place. Just off of the podium. This could be a really solid season for Renault. Doing really well. We're sort of getting the start to the season that McLaren are getting so far in the real season. But here we go, DRS. Stroll's going to be a sitting duck surely here. I'm going to save my overtake mode for the second part of the chicane. Here we go, tucking behind him. I don't know what the engineer's saying about strategy. Bad time with the overtake, but I am going to come in now. And here we go, around the outside. Becoming the inside line for turn number 1. Job done on Stroll. He's trying to poke it around the outside though. Same corner then. Just the next lap. Here we go. Send it up the inside into turn number 1 on Stroll. He tries to come back around the outside, but there's nothing he can do there really. Boxing then on lap number 8. Wow. Auto pit stop's amazing. You can just bolt it down. That was crazy, that pit entry. But anyway, pit in 1 lap before our teammate. We get priority for some reason. Even though he had track position, maybe he decided against it. But our engineer gave us the option to pit, and I'm going to take it. Hopefully we'll get a bit of an undercut. We're just over 2 seconds behind Daniel Ricciardo. We're going to come out in, well, just ahead of Latifi. Yeah, and just behind Gasly and Kvyat and the AlphaTauri. So hopefully they don't hold us up. Looks like Leclerc might have jumped Stroll behind, but looks like there's quite a bit of activity at pit exit behind. So we've got a little bit of breathing room, but the aim is to close down on Ricciardo in this undercut sort of strategy period going on at the minute. And we're going to be planning our next pit stop around lap 21 to 27, depending on how the tyres last. So coming across the line, then you can see people at pit exit. Daniel Ricciardo there and Max Verstappen. We set a purple final sector, which is good, and looks like we've got the jump on Ricciardo. I don't know if he got held up in the pits, but we're out ahead of our teammate narrowly, so the strategy's paid off. Daniel won't be happy with that for the team allowing me to pit first, considering he had track position. But we've recovered well from our 5th-place grid penalty. We seem to have quite a bit of race pace running it deep here. This is going to allow Daniel to get back at us on exit. We can't afford to really battle too hard. Here he comes. He's going to send one up the inside. I've got the DRS. I'm saving my ERS. Trying it around the outside, just about giving each other space. But if we carry on battling like this, it's going to cost us as a team. Look, Kvyat is now out. Well, I'm now out of Kvyat's DRS zone, which is a bit annoying. So Daniel's going to get us straight back down this straight, I think. He's got the DRS. I'm going to save overtake mode for the next part of after the chicane on the run to the line, but Daniel's closing down now. Kvyat will be pitting. No, he won't. Oh, he's on mediums already, that'll be why. Here's Daniel Ricciardo. Mercedes coming out the pits of Bottas. He was in 3rd place. He's back out in 3rd place. And I think he'll probably stay in 3rd place. Look at Ricciardo getting alongside us. I didn't even notice him then. A little bit stuck behind the AlphaTauri here, holding us up. But I'll pick up his DRS. Look at this. Properly stuck behind the Russian.
Let's use overtake and burn some of this energy.
Here comes Daniel Ricciardo again. Up our inside. I'm going to be boxed in here. They're going to make contact. Daniel Ricciardo gets past us there. That was a little bit crazy. I just want to take a replay of that. Look at the run Daniel Ricciardo got out of there. He got a really good run. Gets alongside us. Gets in front. He gets in front. And then we just get boxed in with nowhere to go. I had to go off the track a little bit there. But the AlphaTauri really making things difficult. And I've got Leclerc behind me now. Here comes Charles Leclerc. That's what I was saying. He's going to be right there. I'm going to get him back up the inside. Almost rear end our teammate, but not quite. This is quite a juicy battle going on here in the middle of this race. I'm going for overtake mode. I'm going to make things difficult. Oh, yellow flags are out in force. That is annoying. I don't know what's going on, but these guys are going for the overtake. Green flags are coming up soon. Oh, who is that? It's a Mercedes. It's Bottas. Renault could be on for a podium, but then so will Ferrari. Look at this. If Ricciardo gets through, we can wave goodbye. I'm going to try and stick with him. Not quite able to. Kvyat really making things difficult. Up the inside, shooting it deep.
Caution, caution. The
virtual safety car out.
Reduce speed and maintain a positive
Wow.
delta. Okay, slow down.
Safety car, well, virtual safety car is back in. And Daniel Ricciardo managed to escape from Kvyat. So we've got to see if we've got the pace to go after the Aussie. Let's give it him. Yellow flags again. What is going on? What on earth is going on in Sector 1 now? We just had a virtual safety car. Now Bottas, is that Hamilton? No, Bottas just on the track. Why the hell isn't the safety car out? That is properly dodgy. So we're closing up with the DRS, and I've just noticed Daniel Ricciardo has the soft tyres on. We've just gone fastest overall and almost send it up the inside of our teammate there. But Renault, we have some proper pace here today. And even when Ricciardo on the soft tyres, we're able to keep with him, mainly because it's such a short lap, and also the DRS zones will help us out. But I think that's his second set of soft tyres, so I wonder if he'll be able to go to the end. Should I change my strategy so our last stint is on the soft tyres as well? I don't know what to do about that, but we'll find out. Whoa! Lose the rear completely almost. That's going to cost us. So at this stage in the race, I've whacked the fuel down to lean to start saving some fuel. Just while we're sitting in behind Daniel Ricciardo. Going to start looking after the tyres a bit. I can sort of manage it and stay with him, at least within the DRS zone. We've got Leclerc behind. If I drop out of this DRS zone, we are an absolute sitting duck to the Ferrari man behind. What is going on here? Magnussen at the side of the track. We've got a new strategy to take a look at, which we'll do down this straight. Lap 21 mediums. That could work for me, I think. We'll use it for now. We'll see what the tyres looking like. Yeah, I think we're going to go for that strategy, to be honest. Just got to start saving fuel now. Look at this. We're all over the back of Ricciardo. I think he might be starting to hold us up a little bit. The team are telling us to get past him if we can. Use the overtake mode and everything we've got to get him. So I might do just that. Come on, let's line it up for this straight, shall we? Stick with him, and then I can go back to fuel saving and try and pull away on the brakes nicely. Almost clip his rear end. We run a bit deep into the final corner then. Not the final corner, sorry. That final hairpin. Here we go then. DRS, overtake mode, everything we've got. What we're going to max out at 212. Side by side into the final chicane. It's not going to end well. We do it around the outside there. Yes. Here we go, into the final chicane. We've got the run, 212 miles per hour. on the brakes. We just had to go around the outside in the end, side by side with our teammate. On board with Ricciardo. He sort of just has to take it deep up the inside and left us the room in the end. So Leclerc behind now. It's gotten through on our teammate, so that overtake has really cost Renault. So I've now got to keep Leclerc at bay. I've also got to save fuel, so I want to do that early on now in the race. But ultimately, hopefully Ricciardo can stay with Leclerc. Me and Leclerc are on the better race tyres, but I've got to be careful. If I let Leclerc go, he's going to be a goner. I haven't even got DRS to defend with. I'm literally going to have to go defensive. Hopefully we can back him up into Ricciardo and Ricciardo can help us out a bit, but we'll see. I've just had a message, rain coming in 10 to 15 minutes. So at the end it could be a little bit of a washout, and Hamilton, he's going to come out ahead of us. He's pitted again. I think he's pitted from soft tyres, so looks like people are going for soft and then mediums, whereas I've gone for soft, mediums and then mediums. I think mediums are going to be the better race tyre, to be honest. So I want to cover off any undercuts. I'm going to follow the team strategy and come in on this lap. Leclerc's followed us in the pits. He's mirroring our strategy. This is going to be a race to the end. Racing Point coming down the pit lane. Luckily we get ahead of him. I think he held at Leclerc slightly, so that paid off for us. I think Ricciardo, where's Daniel Ricciardo? Where is Ricciardo? Daniel Ricciardo has already boxed. I don't know where he is. He must have lost quite a bit of time because he was going quickly. Oh, he pitted on the lap before. And he did have a slow lap. So for us then, we're coming out alongside Giovinazzi, I think, just ahead of him. I'll take that. And now we're in behind Kimi. And I think Norris is in second place or something. So it'll be interesting to see how the strategy pays off. I see why you guys have been asking me to do 50% races already. The first race is way more exciting in terms of different strategy, stuff like that. You just don't know where you're going to be. So Norris in P3, Verstappen's just got past him. So I've got Leclerc who's going to be going very fast behind. So I need to try and pick up some DRS from Kimi Raikkonen if possible. So Norris and Raikkonen both in the pits then. And that's going to give us back a podium, which would be absolutely fantastic for Renault. It's a shame that Ricciardo's strategy is not paying off for him, but ours seems to be working. Giovinazzi doing a wonderful job holding up Leclerc, giving us breathing room to try and hold on for this podium, because this podium isn't a given. Leclerc has been going quick all race, but for once, bit of luck with obviously Bottas. Bottas struggling and basically DNFing, giving us a free pass at a podium, as well as Vettel getting that huge time penalty, well, the grid place penalty for the start of the race. Right, I've tried to go for a fastest lap of the race. Indeed, we get it. But yeah, the team reminded me now about the fuel stuff, so I've got to look after the fuel. GF's doing my head in about the fuel. I know what I'm doing. Look, we're alright for fuel, don't worry. That'll be saved up, but I just want to try and get an extra point in the bag if I can. So that's my shot at getting a fast lap of the race. I saved up a lot of overtake mode just to use it on that one lap to try and get a decent time in, to try and go fastest, basically, just to get the extra bonus point, as well as give ourselves a little bit of breathing room to the Leclerc behind. So I've just checked in with race engineer Jeff, and we're actually catching Verstappen by about 3/10 a lap, which is really good. He's on older tyres than ours by about 2 or 3 laps too, so we might have an opportunity to pick up second place in this race. I'm not going to think about it just yet because I've got a bit of fuel saving left to do. I've got a bit of tyre management as well to do. These have got to go to the end, and look at them already, so just got to make sure we get to the end of the race. But if Verstappen slips up a little bit, we might be in with a chance. I mean, I'm having to keep the pace up because Leclerc's catching as well, so it's all concertina and up the grid. Hamilton obviously very quick in that Mercedes, running away with it a little bit, 20 odd seconds up the road. It's also worth noting that Daniel Ricciardo is back in 5th place behind, so Renault could be on for an absolutely stonker of a Grand Prix. And as I say that, rain is inbound. Maybe that's why people have changed up their strategy in case the rain comes. So any moment now I'm expecting some rain. I'm going to get some inters ready, but I'm hoping we're not going to need them. Sending lap number 30, we're catching up to Verstappen at a rate of knots. Again, Jeff reminded us to be cautious, but I think he should be encouraging us right now. We've got a chance to get second place in a Renault. Ricardo could pick up 5th, even further. He might even get further up the grid as well. You just don't know. I ran a little bit deep into there. That's cost us a bit of time. The rain's inbound. Hopefully it's not going to affect us. Look at this, all over the back of the Dutchman. I want to try and get any sort of overtake done before the rain comes, because the rain is going to make it very tricky. So I get a little bit on the grass there. That will make it tricky for me as well. We get a much better exit out of here. I think our Renault is struggling for traction. Look at the tyres as well. We sort of wear our rears a lot more than the fronts. So let's see if we can get Verstappen. Gonna try and get him on the next straight if possible. The slipstream is very powerful. Last lap I just used slipstream alone to catch up to the back of him down this straight. Whoa. Slip from the rear. Here we go then. DRS and slipstream only down this first straight. See, it's not quite enough to catch up to him. He must be defending with his overtake button. But then we're going to go for it on the second straight. Bit of a shorter straight. Oh. He's good on the brakes. This lap and the next lap to go. It's going to be an absolute cracker to the end of this race. Make sure you check it out. 3/10 off. We still got fastest lap. I can't see anyone beating that unless they box for fresh tyres. I can see the rain. The rain is here. I've gone for overtake mode early on this straight. I want to get it done. Here we go. We got the run. It has to be now. Straight forward past Max Verstappen. Slot in front of him. Into. Oh, that was committed there. That move then. Straight forward. But I got a little bit of a slide on through that final chicane. Or at least it felt like it. The rear felt a little bit loose. But we came through. And it didn't look like it actually. Absolute magical scenes here in Canada. Second place for Renault right now. I've only got a little bit of ERS to defend with, but it should be enough down the back straight. Verstappen's going to be sticking with us. I think his tyres are too old though, really. He's got the DRS. He's got the DRS to help him along, just to stay with us. He's only half a second back, so he's definitely going to be a threat. And this rain might affect us too. Hopefully it doesn't cause us any problems. Seems alright. Verstappen still there, gaining through that little sector. This is going to be a tight end to this race. Into the hairpin, a little bit of a lock up on the right front. Trying to get a decent exit. Lewis Hamilton takes the win by well over 20 seconds. I've got full overtake mode down this back straight and it's going to help us out. Max Verstappen isn't able to catch up to us. Nail the final corner. More overtake mode and to the line. We're going to take second place for Renault. What a race. What a race and what a result.
Super driving.
So, another fantastic victory for the Silver Arrows. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
So then, second place for Renault, Daniel Ricciardo in 5th. what a good result for the team. We got lucky with Albon struggling, as well as Vettel recovering from 10th place grid penalty. Sainz was quick, who also dropped down the order because of a penalty. Norris never really turned up this weekend, and Bottas obviously DNFing. So all of that combined allowed us to jump from the midfield, where we probably would have ended up 6th or something, all the way into 2nd place. And good strategy and look after the tyres and managing to have good race pace meant that we could catch up to Verstappen and steal 2nd place. Also went for it on one of the laps to get fastest lap of the race, so we gained an extra bonus point. So for the stand-ins then, we shoot up ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Fantastic result for us personally. Verstappen is actually leading this championship, so we actually helped out Hamilton a little bit there. In terms of constructors, wow, we closed the gap massively to Ferrari. Obviously, Vettel only picking up 1 point, which meant Leclerc was the only guy bringing home the points for Ferrari. Racing Point overtake McLaren too, so a pretty interesting race weekend. That's been it for today's episode though. Another 50% race next time out at the next Grand Prix, and we'll be about halfway through the season. This is a 10 race season, of course, more realistic to what 2020 has in store for us. So if you are new around here, make sure you get subscribed to never miss an episode, and stick around for the rest of the season. But for now, I will see you guys in the